Hey all, my name is Kurt and I'm here with Trenton. Welcome back to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar in Trenton. I thought we were done with Buffalo Trace when we did the Buffalo Trace Distillery.
I thought so too. And then you texted me and said, hey, we're doing this video. Yeah. And I said, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Why I thought of this series, in all honesty, is that we had a lot of attention and a lot of views for our Buffalo Trace Distillery review, and thank you for that. But in the comments, most everybody, and correctly so, love Buffalo Trace. And I do too. Do you?
Love it.
I mean, I do.
It is really good.
A lot of their stuff is fantastic.
It is.
But the majority of the people that I spoke to in the comments are extremely frustrated because they can't find Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
What I found was this release of Buffalo Trace, actual Buffalo Trace bourbon, was probably more apt to be able to find than anything else. Some folks actually see this quite a bit in different states.
That's the thing that surprised me, though, because in our area, that's everywhere. It's like $26, $28.
Not all the time, though.
No? Not anymore?
No, but you're right in a way, because when it's there, there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
But it comes maybe 6 or 8 times a year. So like right now, if I go down there today, I won't find it.
Huh.
But at times, you'll find a bunch of it. So past that, though, it's just nobody can find it.
Yeah.
So what I really wanted to do to try to help everybody out is try to come up with other bottles that you can, I don't want to use the word replace.
Substitute?
Yeah, other bottles that you can purchase that hopefully are on your shelves and readily available that will substitute for Buffalo Trace releases. Now, they won't be exact, but they're going to be, I put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah, I can tell.
And it's, and I think they're really good options, I guess is the best word I want to use. So we're going to spend the next 3 shows, this one, Wednesday and Friday, discussing Buffalo Trace options, substitutions, other bourbons that you can purchase, hopefully on your shelves, that's going to be just as good or possibly even better.
Well, and I don't know which lineup we're doing specifically on Friday, but we're also shaving my head Friday. And I'm not really looking forward to it as much as I was a couple weeks ago, because it's approaching more of a reality
You're bringing this
situation.
up a lot, so I think you are looking forward to it.
I'm not looking forward to it, especially with winter coming up. I'm not much of a hat guy, and I think I'm going to have to be a hat guy.
You're going to have to pack one, trust me.
Yep. So don't miss that. We're going to be doing a blind just like our other live shows, but giveaways and such. But this time, my hair's going away. And I know a lot of you guys are probably sad. I'm sad. I know you're sad.
Oh, no. I'm going to be loving that whole thing. I'm going to have a great time.
So Friday, 8 p.m. Central. Don't miss it. We hope to see you there. But let's see what substitutes you got for Buffalo Trace, because I'm interested.
Yeah, and real quick before we start, I want to reiterate, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that, Buffalo Trace is good stuff. It really is. So if you can find it close to retail cost, good for you. But if you cannot, here's some of the bottles that we have that I think you might like. Okay, Trent, very first we're going to deal with the actual Buffalo Trace bourbon.
Okay.
All right? And that's gone up a little bit. Now it's like $27 or $28. We used to be able to get it for less than $25. But it's a 90 proofer. You're going to get that great, toffee caramel, sweetness.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. Now, if you absolutely cannot find Buffalo Trace, my very first recommendation would be this.
Oh.
Early Times Bottled in Bond. Now, that there's going to be $27 or $28 in our area for a 1-liter bottle. So the value is there. It's 100 proof, so you get a little bit more proof. But what I love about it is that same buttery toffee notes with a little addition of maybe some tobacco or something like that. A little bit more depth, in my opinion, in this Early Times. But a lot of the flavors are going to be quite alike. And for me personally, I would choose Early Times over the Buffalo Trace, but that's just me.
All day, every day.
That's my first choice. I'm going to give you 2 for each one. My next one, Trent, if you have, because some people can't find Early Times bottled in bond.
I heard that too, yeah.
And that's sad. But if you can't, give this one a shot too. We just covered it. Michter's American Whiskey. Now, this isn't a bourbon. It's called a whiskey because it's aged in X bourbon barrels. But to me, that just makes the flavor even that much better. So this one in particular, Trenton, you know, the proof point's going to be closer to the Buffalo Trace. Actually, it's going to be a little bit less. It's around the 84 mark, if I'm not mistaken. But you're still going to get a lot of those same flavors with an added fruit note in there that's very nice as well. Anywhere between 40 and 45 bucks.
I got to say, for me personally, I'd pick both of these over the Buffalo Trace.
I'm not sure if I would on this one
Really?
exactly, but I love them. I wouldn't be unsatisfied with any of those three. This would be definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of choices there. Let's move on to this Eagle Rare. All right. Now, Eagle Rare we know is 10 years old.
Yep.
90 proof. In our area now, that one's about 38 bucks, I think, isn't it? You still get it less than $40? I hate that when he does that.
I think it's
so
just,
far.
it's either like mid 30s or it's just kind of cusped over that 40, it's like $41, $42 mark.
I hate that. I'm a little bit off sometimes in the pricing because it's changed so much this year.
You gotta get with it.
You know, it changes all the time, right? So anyways, it's 90 proof, it's 10 year. You know the flavors in there, dude. You got a little oak, a little, you know, some really nice brown sugar type vanilla, and a little bit of cherry note in there.
Yeah.
It's very, very good as well. Now, you know where I'm going. You know, my first choice I would reach for me personally, Russell's Reserve 10 year. Now you get your 10-year bourbon. It's going to be roughly about the same cost. This should be about 35 bucks, I would think. You're going to get a lot of great notes in there too. Some caramel brown sugar, but there's a little bit of tobacco in there too. There's a little bit of an earthy note in there as well. But it is a little bit wild turkey, and some folks don't quite like wild turkey. So I have another one I'd like to suggest.
I'm kind of surprised to see this one.
No, you're not, because you know I love this thing. I love this thing, and for me, it just does not get the props it deserves.
I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, I see. Tin Cup 10 year. Honestly, guys, you're gonna drop a little bit in proof. This one's in that 83, 84 range, something like that. It is a 10 year as well, but Trenton, for me, I don't think I've ever tasted a more flavorful bourbon. You check it out. I don't think you tasted, honestly, a more flavorful bourbon at a lower proof point than Tin Cup 10 year. I just don't think you can. It has a lot of that great flavor. It's got some caramel, but it has a lot of beautiful fruity tones in there as well. That bottle there should cost you around 50 bucks. So it costs you around 50 bucks.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's a good buy for that too.
That's pretty freaking fruity.
It is.
I gotta tell you.
It's really, really good. Honestly, it is. While he's sipping on that, I'm not going to set it on the bar top, but also don't forget about this Widow Jane 10 year when it comes for a replacement for Eagle Rare.
That is a great bottle.
This is a great bottle. I'm not going to set it on there because it's quite a bit of an upgrade in price. It is 75 bucks.
So you're doubling.
Yeah, so it's quite a bit. It is 91 proof and a lot of wonderful, wonderful flavors in this Widow Jane. So I'm not going to set it up there, but keep that in mind as you're trying to find things that might ease your pain of not being able to find an Eagle Rare. Okay, let's go down here to this little hand grenade here, this little grenade bottle, this one that everybody just loves to get, and I understand it because look at it, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it really, really is. It looks wonderful on the shelf. You know, you should see, Trenton knows, you should see when guys, and girls for that matter, walk into a liquor store when there's some of these on the shelf. Am I right? I mean, the eyes light up, and they look. First thing I see is they look around at who's their competition to get to that rack.
I do that still,
and it's true. It's true, and it's all good. It's this one I paid for not that long ago was like 65 trends, so it's getting up there a little bit, but it's about 65 bucks. Some wonderful caramel flavors. I always get a little bit of orange out of that Blantons single barrel. Proof point's about 93. Okay, my very first choice. Now, the only problem is this you may not be able to find. I've actually bought this in Vegas. I think you can find it more than you could Blantons. But this John J. Bowman single barrel, let me just tell you something. This one here should cost you around 50 bucks, 55 bucks, I think. But there's some wonderful notes in that. That's some beautiful caramel. It's rich, it's creamy, and Trenton, it's chocolatey.
Chocolatey.
It is. And that bottle right there is 100 proof. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I would prefer to drink that all day long over the Blantons bottle.
Really?
It's that good.
Okay.
It's very, very good. Now, if you can't find that John J. Bowman single barrel, I have a hard time actually finding it up here. Don't forget about.
I've never seen it.
Don't forget about this Jack Daniel's here. This Jack Daniel's single barrel select. All right. This one is about 94 proof, so it's similar to the Blantons. It's also going to be around that $55 range, $60 maybe. I think it's more towards the $55 range. But, you know, you do have some great flavors in that as well. And this one, Trenton, I was sipping on a little bit getting ready for the show, and I know that shocks you. I know it does.
No, it doesn't.
just a little sips, though, to check them out. I really get a little hint of banana on the finish there that I really, really like. I really do. It's really, really nice, to tell you the truth.
I think
some
I've
brown
gotten-
sugar, a little bit of toasted oak, and just a hint of banana on the finish.
I think I've gotten some banana notes on a couple different Jack Daniel's products, and
Yeah.
people thought I was nuts. So at least either both of us are nuts,
Yeah.
which is entirely
Yeah.
possible,
Yeah.
or
That's-
there's actually something to that claim. And I will say, this is freaking good.
It's delicious.
I would drink this over Blantons all
Any day.
Yeah,
Any day.
That
It's really that good.
That like 7 extra proof points really kind of, I think, enhances the flavor quite a bit, and it's just so. I don't know. This is a Sazerac product, and this is a Sazerac product.
Okay.
Bowman is underneath like the Sazerac umbrella, just like Buffalo Trace is.
Okay.
I really don't see much of these in our area.
Yeah, everyone's
so I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I don't know either, and that's sad. I did buy that in Vegas when your mom
Vegas,
and I went to
okay.
Vegas with the in-laws.
And you didn't pick me up one? Shame.
Sorry, I did not. I could only haul so many in my suitcase. Anyways, don't hesitate on this Jack Daniel's either as a decent substitute or a different option for Blantons. All right, last but not least, Elmer Tea Lee. And you know, I've spoken before. Elmer Tea Lee to me is just homey.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. It's sitting in the easy chair with your little blankie. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
Yeah. So Elmer Tea Lee is just that for me. You know, some just really nice, well-rounded, warm flavors, caramel. You know, that little brown sugar there. Just some really nice stuff in there. Extremely hard to find though. Extremely. I actually won this in a drawing. Believe that or not. Just not that long
And you
ago.
just polished off your last bottle.
I did.
Like your one on the shelf.
I did.
That had been sitting on there for years.
Yeah, but now I knew I had this. So I was moving on to the next one. So I got that for $45, Trenton, in the drawing, just because
Can't argue with that.
our stores are very good to their customers, so we appreciate that. But I had to win the drawing in order to get it. So very hard to find, and a lot of it's extremely overpriced. So my very first thought that came to my mind, and I know you see you're looking at it over there, and I know it's kind of silly to even trot it out, but Evan Williams single barrel, if you want to set that over there, to me,
I think this is a good. That's not silly to me at all. I think this is a great pick.
no. The only reason I say that it's silly, Trent, is that they're making it to where you can only purchase it at the distillery now. So
That's
if
a
you
shame.
see that on the shelf anywhere, you might want to pick it up because sooner than later you're only going to be able to buy it in the distillery. Now you're bumped down a little bit in some proof. That Elmer Tea Lee, Trent, is 90 proof.
Yeah.
And this here I think is 86.6 if my memory's correct. But very creamy, very homey, you know.
Do we know how old ETL is?
I'm sorry, I do not.
Because this is what? This 30 some bucks.
Yeah,
This is an 8-year-old bourbon.
correct.
For 30 some bucks.
Correct.
How could you pass that up?
No, it's just very, very good. And to me, it's draws a distinct parallel with the Elmer Tea Lee.
Yeah.
So if you can find it, it's a great pickup. If not, I'm going back to what we just, back to where the other
Back
video.
to the Michter's.
Michter Sour Mash. It has a lot of that great, warm, homey flavors, butterscotch, caramel, those kind of things. Again, you're going to dip a little bit below in the proof.
88 or 84?
84, I think those are, I believe, something like
86. Wow, I was
that. Is
wrong.
it 86? Okay, well, I was wrong too. That's all right. It's somewhere in that general range. You're going to dip a little bit, but you're going to get that for that $40 to $45 range, and you should be able to find it. That's the biggest thing. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. We're going to carry on Wednesday with the Weller lineup.
Oh, are we doing well?
Yep, we're going to do the Weller lineup, and then we're going to finish on Friday dealing with the Colonel H. Taylor, and maybe we'll throw in the Stag and the Rock Hill Farms on that one.
Got to get Kent's bottle again.
Yeah, we got to get it again. But don't sweat it. I guess the biggest thing is we all love and we all appreciate Buffalo Trace. There's no question about that. They make fantastic bourbons. They absolutely do. But, you know, a lot of folks in the comments were just like me, very frustrated because you can never find them. That's the problem. Nobody can. So if you can't, move on to something that's just as good or better and something you can find on the shelf for a decent price.
Also, if you have suggestions for different replacements,
Absolutely.
let us know. We can't get everything.
No.
And we'd love to know kind of if you guys can't find an Eagle Rare or Blantons, what you guys typically go for or find in a liquor store. That's a pretty close comparison. Or if not better, for the same price.
Yeah. I would love to hear what you have to say about that as well. But these are my ideas, so
you did pretty good.
All right. Thanks for the vote of confidence. All right. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Please plan on following this on Wednesday and Friday. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time right down here with him and I in a good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.